Today we're going to be transforming the organization of your refrigerator in just 6 easy steps. Hi, I'm Melissa Diane, and if you're having trouble when you open up your refrigerator going straight to what you're looking for, then this is the perfect video for you. It's really going to be a lot of fun and it's really easy. The first step is to get your refrigerator cleaned out. So let's get this little guy open and get him cleaned out. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start up here at the top and just take everything out. Okay, y'all, so looky here. I've taken everything out. You can see there are a lot of items that have come out of that refrigerator. And now what I'm going to do is I've decided before I put all of these different things back in to this refrigerator, I need to clean it. So what I'm going to do is I have got some warm water here. I've got just a little warm water and then some baking soda, and I've mixed it all up. I'm just going to go in the fridge, wipe this down, and then dry it off, and I'll be right back. Looky here, y'all, we are all clean, and I don't know about you. Let me start here at the top, but I just love it when my refrigerator is all clean. It's all sparkling clean. Took only about 5 minutes because I'll show you this one tip in a second that I have been using on my shelves, and that made a huge difference in keeping this refrigerator clean. Okay, so our fridge is all clean, and I want to show you some different things. I want to show you some of the organizational bins that I'm going to be using in the fridge. But first, before I do that, let me show you this one tip that really helps keep your refrigerator shelves clean. Okay, now, so our refrigerator is all clean, and the third step to this process is figuring out what you're going to use as far as your organizational bins and how you're going to get all of that together to put everything back in the fridge. So what I'm going to start with is that little tip I told you about of what I use to help really keep my shelves clean. And it's so simple. You can get this product, and you may have seen it before, off of Amazon. It comes in a roll, and I'll put a link for the one that I use in the description section below the video, and you can cut this stuff to fit your refrigerator. And I have used this now for probably about a year, and I just love it. It comes all different colors if you want to have different colors, but it's wipe-offable, it's very sturdy, and I put this on all of my shelves. Also, I put it in my drawers, and then most importantly, y'all, when you open up your fridge, on the side there where you put all your tall things and your sauces and different things, ketchup, mustard, etc., I have skinny ones here that I have cut, and I've used these, and I just put these in the bottom on the door side, and that prevents so much from, let's say that you have one of those items and it bubbles over a little bit or it leaks. You know how it can get all sticky in the bottom of those little areas there on your side door in your fridge, and I had that happen, and I didn't notice it until it was like dripping down to the next level. And so I had to keep going up, up, and up, and I finally found that at the top, something had just started leaking, the bottom of something, and it leaked all the way down. It was a huge mess. And so that made me look for something like this. And y'all, now, if anything should get sticky or leak, all you do is you take these things out, you wipe them and put them back in. It saves you so much time when you need to really clean out that refrigerator. So I'll show you how these go in a few minutes. So that's the tip that really helps you keep your fridge clean. Now, as far as organizational bins, a lot of the things I'm going to show you, I got some of these at the Container Store. I got some at Walmart. I think you could probably find just about everything you wanted, at Walmart or Target or somewhere like that. I just happened to have been in the Container Store, and I love that store. That's a problem because I love that store, and I love to go in there and get things. They're just a little pricier than at Walmart. But you can get these at different places, but I will put some links for these from different stores of items that are similar, if that would help you. So I will tell you, when you go into the store and you start looking for different types of bins, it's kind of hard because you're thinking, well, I don't know how many I need or what size and all of that. So my suggestion is just to go in, look around, and get 3 or 4 maybe, or at least 2 or 3 of the same size, so that way they'll fit in nicely in your refrigerator. I do like the clear ones, and whatever you end up with when you come back, you'll be able to make your items fit. But I think, let me look around. I'm kind of surrounded by food right now, but I think most of my items are clear, and it just makes it easy to see the items. So real quickly, here we go. This is my favorite item, and actually this item, let me pull it over here. this item, these I actually found at our grocery store, but I've seen them at the Container Store, and I believe I've seen these over at Walmart. But what I like about these clear ones, they come in a couple of different sizes. You can see this one is, wider. This one's a little bit thinner. But what I like, y'all, is look at these handles. And I'm short. I'm 5'1". So when I'm in the refrigerator and I want to reach up high, it really helps. I can just pull these down. So if you've never used these before with these little handles on them, these are going to become your next best friend. I just think they're wonderful. So I've got several of these, and I've gone ahead and kind of played with one here, and I put some butter in one. So several of these, I would say just go get yourself, 3, 4 of these items. You're definitely will be able to use them for all types of different things. Then the other ones here, I've got a couple of long skinny ones. Okay, if you were to get something like this would be the only time I would say maybe you need to measure how deep your refrigerator is. This one is, I thought was going to be a little bit long in my fridge, but I kind of prop it up at the back. I'll show you in a minute, and it works fine. But that would be the only time I think you really have to worry with measuring anything. But I got a couple of these. And then I just love these types of bins. Okay, they're shallow. You can put things in them. You can even stack them up a little bit. So I got about 4 or 5 of these. This one here is a little bit taller. And let me see what I have here in the back. I've just got a few more of those same items. And y'all, the neatest thing I found, I just love this. Let me show you. I've got to reach over here and get it. Let me find it. Where did I put it? Hang on, I'll find it. Oh, okay, here we are. I found it. I had it across the way over here. I moved some of these things to another fridge I have since I was going to be doing this for a while. Y'all, I just love this. I just think it's the neatest thing. And you may have one, but if not, it's just so cool. I went ahead and I put my eggs in it, and you can just use this for your eggs. I think I need to go get another one. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to stack 2 of them or not, but I can. And I just think they're just so fun. Then you can just open them up and get your eggs, and it's really kind of pretty in your fridge. The other thing that I got, and this is something, I've never seen anyone do this before, but you know what? I thought I'm just going to make, this is my fridge. I'm going to make it my own and do what I want. And so what I did was I had some of these little labels, and usually these kind of little labels you would use like in your pantry. And I have a really good video on pantry organization, and I'll make sure that I put that where it pops up at the end for you. But I just got some of these because when I was looking, when you open up your fridge and I was looking inside on the door, I thought, everything's just everywhere. I want to try to organize it. And I thought maybe if I put some of these little labels on the door, then when people get stuff out, they might put it back in the same spot. I think that, and so we're going to see if that happens because my family hasn't seen these yet. But I think sometimes when you're doing this, you wonder, is it really going to be worth it or not? But y'all, it is, because it's going to keep everything organized in your fridge. Everyone's going to know where it is. And I think also it's easier because then what I'm hoping is when I'm doing my grocery list every week, your eyes can go right to where you need things. And I just think it'll kind of prevent having duplicates of stuff. So that's the thought process. And now that we know what all the containers are that we're going to be using, I think the smart thing to do would be to open up the fridge and actually put these in there to see where they're going to go and see if they're all going to fit or not. Okay, before I bring the containers in here, I wanted to show you this. So looky here. This right here, if I can step back here, this is one of those strips I was showing you. Now on these strips, I'm hoping you can see, but on one side it's smooth, on the other side they have these little bumps or ridges. So I put the ridges down, that helps keep it from sliding. And I'm just gonna take this, and look at this, I'm gonna put it in here, and it wasn't quite long enough, so I'm gonna take another one and overlap it. There you go, you can see that I put 2 of those in and they overlap. And I'm going to take those and put those back into all of these areas here in my fridge. There you go. You can see that I put 2 of those in and they overlap. And I'm going to take those and put those back into all of these areas here in my fridge. Okay, so here we are, and I have gotten those sheets that I was showing you on every shelf now. I put them in every drawer. And then we have them on all of these ledges over here. Now we're going to go over and start checking to see if these different containers that we have way over here, if these different things are actually going to all fit in the fridge. Okay, so now let's look over here and you can see that I put these containers up here. Now, oh my, look at this. I forgot to tell you my favorite thing. Look at this. I put little labels like snack cheese and string cheese, butter, etc. I just love this. Jay has this label maker, and last night I went out to the hangar and just went crazy getting him to make me labels. Look at all those labels. Anyway, let me step back here. Now look, here you can see that this is where I think I want these items. We'll find out once we get everything in here. But I've gone ahead, put these in, so I somewhat have an idea. Then over here, I went ahead, you can't really see this with the camera, but I put my little things, like this one is mustard and ketchup, and I put, let me step back here, I put several of these on the door. They just hang on the edge there. And I'm gonna see if that's gonna work or not. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start taking these items and just start putting everything in here. And you like my butter, I like to buy these half stick butters. I think they're easier, when you're cooking. And I used to always just keep the whole container in there in the fridge. And then I realized I was always having to open them up and everything. So I started keeping them in little half sizes like this, but like in a Tupperware container or something. And then when I found these containers that have these little, let me see if these will all fit or not. I'm not sure. I may have a couple left over I'll have to do something with. When I found these little containers that have these handles on them, I got so excited because that really just makes things a whole lot easier. Especially when you're short like I am and you're trying to get things out of the fridge. So there we go, look at that. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? You got all your butter, you just pull it out and there you are. And yes, we like to cook with a lot of butter. So we got our butter, and then this is cream cheese, and let me look around and try to find where that cream cheese went. I only have, here they are, a couple of them. I usually have a lot of cream cheese, but I went ahead and made a whole big container for the cream cheese because I'm gonna be buying some more at the store. So we've got our butter, we've got our cream cheese, and then for our string cheese, again, I was keeping these in the package or like in a Tupperware container and always had a lid on them. And so I thought, well, if I can do this, then this is great. We've still been running around here trying to do this low carb diet thing. And so we've been eating a lot of cheese. And so again, you can just take this, pull it out of the fridge, and you've got your snacks. And then our other cheese snack, I made a whole container. I think I called it snack cheese. These are these little baby Bell cheeses. Oh, y'all, they're awesome. And so just any kind of snack we want. So there we go. So we've got these all made up. So we've got these made up. Let's move them over here and let's see what's next. Okay, so what's next is lunch meat. And I was thinking I'd put a lunch meat in one of these smaller ones, but I just got too much. So I'm going to use this big one here. I put on here lunch meat / cheese, and let me find it. And I had it, there it is. Hang on, I'm coming back. Okay, here we are. We eat a lot of just snacks during the day. I work from home. My office is here at home, and Jay's retired now, and so he comes in a lot and gets snacks. When he's out working on the airplanes, he'll come in and get some snacks. And so we like to keep a lot of lunch meat, really good. Usually this is like boar's head, ham, or turkey, and then some really good cheese. And so we can just pull that out, you've got it, and you can put it back in. So I think that's gonna work really good. What's next? Okay, so I pulled out the containers that say fruit on them. They're all different sizes, so you don't have to be perfect and get all the same sizes. Because when you go shopping, you don't know exactly what you're going to need. So let me grab all my fruit. Here we go. We have been eating a lot of fruit also since we're on this little diet. So I'm still here. I'm just over here grabbing some more of this fruit. And I don't have any raspberries. We love raspberries, but the store's been out of them. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just looking at this a second. And before I put the fruit in the bottom, I think I'm going to put a paper towel in the bottom because sometimes the raspberries are the worst about this, and I don't have any raspberries right now. Sometimes the blackberries will in these little containers you get, they'll kind of leak a little bit. So I think I might put a paper towel in here to absorb that a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, so here I am. Let's do this. I think I just need 2 paper towels. So let's fold these up. I'm going to put this in the bottom here. Let's get 2 more. I think I'm going to fold it up. Let me see how that fits. I think that's good. I thought about cutting some more of that plastic to the right size, but then I thought, no, I'll just do this. And we'll just see how this works and if we like it or not. That's a little bit too long. Let me just fold it up. Let's see how that works. I think that'll work good. Okay, so I'm gonna put the blackberries in here. The blackberries in here. Usually we eat quite a bit of this, so I would have like 3 of the blackberries. I've got some kiwi back here, and normally like in the refrigerator, you know, I just keep it like this, right? I'm gonna take these out since I have this paper towel, and I'm just gonna lay these here in the back so we can get to them. Throw that over there. Then strawberries. I've got a couple of big containers. This one we've just about finished up. I think I'm going to put those just right in there. Usually the strawberries I buy are in these little square containers, so I think normally it'll fit really good in here. And then we've got some blueberries. So we've got our fruit all done. So let me see what's left. Well, we got several things left. I didn't realize it. So let me move this over here. And I'm going to put the fruit up here while we're working on these other items. Okay, so here's my thinking. We use a lot of sour cream, and so I'm just going to go ahead and put, I thought, you know, I could pull these out like this, and then you have all your sour cream, grab what you need, and then I can stick behind there, I'm thinking the cottage cheese. And then for sauces and salsa, let me grab them. They are way over here, and I just love this when we're not dieting. I love this guacamole. It's called guacamole salsa. It's already made up and it's kind of spicy. And then these items here like tartar sauce, Parmesan sauce. This is good for wings. And then just your regular old salsa here for like chips and things. And that way you can just, you know, in the refrigerator, I'm hoping it works. I haven't done this before, kind of just slide this out a little bit. So we've got those, and then lemons and limes, they're here behind me. So over here we've got our lemons, we've got our limes, and I think, y'all, I think that's just about all for the containers. I have one here I labeled toppings last night when I was playing with all this. And I think what I meant by that were these things. We do a lot of Parmesan, grated, etc. So let's try that. I'm going to put these in here, there. So then we've got all of those. And put this one, it's a little bit left, put on top. I think that's our main items. So now I'm going to go and start putting these in the fridge. Here's where we are so far. So we've got all the cheeses in up there. And so our containers are doing pretty good. And so now I think what we just need to do is start getting the rest of all these items in. And then some of these things may end up moving around after we get the rest of the items in. But y'all, this is going to be so much easier, and it's so organized. So you know right away, there's your cottage cheese and sour cream. There's all your sauces. You just pull this little tray out, just pull it out and grab what you want. I will tell you one tip really quick. On these containers that I was telling you about, some of them you buy, they have this little cover. See this? And some of them don't. It just depends on the ones you get. I like the ones with the little covers because they're easier on your hand. These aren't bad, it's just that it's a little harder on your hand, and these are smooth. Oh wow, y'all, look at this. We are all done. Let's start at the top and check it all out. We got all of our butter and cream cheese up there. Look at this. This has just made it so easy now. And look at all of the extra room that we've got. This space down here I like to leave for during the week when I'm doing all my cooking. So I've got room for those items. And then these drawers, look, we've got them all filled up, and we still have extra room. I was afraid this might cause us to use up our space, but y'all, organizing it like this has really actually created more space for us. And over here, look at this. Look at these labels. I think these are just going to be wonderful. Keeps everything on the side here organized. Now, what do you do about all those items that are not in the refrigerator but go in your pantry? So check out that next video that's popping up and it will show you what to do with them. Have a great day. Bye-bye.